Well, if you've been at St. Stephen's for any length of time, you'll have heard us encourage you to be in a life group. But what exactly is a life group? And why do we think they're so important? Well, I'm Chris Ramsbottom, one of the pastors at St. Stephen's Bible Church, and I'm joined today by one of our life group leaders, Johan Brannehoch. Johan, thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure, Chris.
Well, let's begin with the name, life group. Well, is this some kind of a coaching meeting or self-improvement class?
Well, Chris, not really. I would say it's a small group where you get to meet other people in the congregation and develop a more personal relationship, and where you support each other through life's twists and turns, and also that you get to study the Bible. You really get, it's a fantastic opportunity to know the Bible better, discuss maybe the issues you have or the questions you have in that sort of setting in a small group. I would say that kind of the primary reasons for the group.
And so should it be only the super spiritual that join a life group?
Well, I thought we were all super spiritual at St. Stephen's. No, not really, Chris. So I think it's also, the Bible encourages us to meet together. So basically everyone should meet together. And so the life groups now, we are spending time in Hebrews, and Hebrews 10 says we should all meet together, not give up meeting together. Physically meeting together is part of being a Christian. So, but also, I mean, if that's basically it.
And what if you're not sure about this whole Christianity thing yet? Could you come along as well?
Absolutely. So I think a life group is probably a fantastic place to come and ask questions. You're probably going to have questions, and I can't think of a better setting than come along, ask questions, see what it's about, and just take part in a kind of a non-intimidating way. I think it would be very beneficial.
You mentioned the book of Hebrews earlier. That's what we've been studying this year. Any thoughts on the book itself? Any highlights for you from studying the book of Hebrews?
So for myself, one of the things, and it's something I've been maybe grappling with a little bit. I never understood the emphasis on the tabernacle. It's basically a glorified tent. Now, I hope it doesn't come out the wrong way. But the Bible in the Old Testament spends over 50 chapters on the tabernacle and 2 chapters on creation. So obviously it's very important, and that comes out in the Hebrews. The tabernacle, the traditions, everything that's going on there, all points towards Jesus in some way or another. And I find once you start realizing when you're reading Hebrews and taking into account the audience, the Jewish audience in Hebrews, all of a sudden that comes alive. And I found that was a real highlight.
Great.
In Hebrews.
Great. Well, next term we'll be looking at the attributes of God, so that's something exciting to look forward to as well. Things have obviously been a little bit different this year. Maybe share some positives and some negatives about operating on Zoom.
Yeah, so I think obviously the negatives is that you're not meeting physically together. So I mean that is obviously the way it's meant to. But on the other hand, using technology to meet virtually is it's the next best thing. So, and it can be time efficient, and perhaps for families that have children, or it might be a little bit easier to accommodate being on a Zoom call instead of having to leave physically. But the main highlight is that you can choose your own background, and that will keep people awake. I've noticed in my life group.
Well, Johan, thanks for joining us and for sharing a little bit about your life group and about life groups in general. Well, we'd like everyone at St. Stephen's to be in a life group. So if you're not in a group, do please get hold of me and we'll find a suitable group for you. We've got men's groups, we've got women's groups, we've got mixed groups, we've got student groups, we've got teens groups. They meet at various times and at various days in the week. We've got a group that would be suitable for you. We'd love for you to be in a group doing life together.